light-skinned Sherlock Holmes definitely has his hands full with this one. We've got the tragic death of Princess Diana. Not only do we have literal royalty, a literal celebrity, but this one's got some conspiracies surrounded around it, bro. A lot of people think that this girl, Princess Diana, had a lot of baggage, right? A lot of information upon the inner workings of the royal family, and she's about to snitch to the entire world. So they had her assassinated in a car crash, dude. Her own family killed her, bro. So we gonna see, man. I don't really know too much the facts of the case, right? She died like literally 2 weeks after I was birthed, bro. I came out the womb, and then boom, Princess Diana dies.
This week on Buzzfeed Unsolved, we look into one of the most famous and tragic losses of the 20th century, the death of Diana, Princess of Wales. Now, before we get into this case, I want to say that while this is one of the most requested cases on Unsolved, it's still very much solved. However, since Princess Diana was such a beloved figure and continues to be today, some maintain suspicions surrounding the circumstances of her death. So today, we're going to look into some of those circumstances to see if any merit a closer look.
Right, we know it's the soft. We already know. We've already established this. She died in the car crash. Now, what was the cause of the crash? That's why we're here today.
Lightly here, buddy. Otherwise, they're not going to let you back in to that old foggy town they call London.
Is that a threat?
I think so. I'm speaking on behalf of England here. I think that's fair for me to do. She had her own Beanie Baby, so watch your mouth.
Hear me out here. I'm speaking on behalf of Batman and Robin, and I'm going to tell you right now that the boys don't respond well to threats.
You're going to beat me up because I told you shouldn't slander Diana, Princess of Wales?
Yes.
Okay, that's a choice.
Let's get into this.
She's a psycho.
The Honorable Diana Frances Spencer was born in Norfolk, England on July 1st, 1961. The youngest daughter of then Viscount and Viscountess Althorpe, and therefore a member of the British aristocracy, the Honorable Diana became Lady Diana when her father inherited the earldom in 1975. Lady Diana attended boarding school in Kent, then finishing school in Switzerland until 1978. Afterward, Lady Diana moved into an apartment in London with some friends, going on to work as a kindergarten teacher at the Young England School.
Must be fun to be a young, sexy person in London. Huh?
You're not referring to us in London.
Bro, she ain't even living the life of a princess, bro. She ain't even living the life of a princess, bro. She's just chilling, vibing, doing her thing. She chasing the bag, you know what I'm saying?
There was nothing beautiful
about She's just doing her thing.
Also interesting that she was obviously an aristocrat. She was wealthy, had a title, and yet still living in an apartment with pals and a kindergarten teacher.
One of the most expensive cities.
She's just kicking it, man.
That's true. But a kindergarten teacher nonetheless.
True, yeah. Noble.
The Spencer family had known the royal family for years, as they were neighbors in Norfolk. However, Diana and her future husband, Prince Charles, didn't get to know each other until November 1977.
That's where the royalty comes from.
Lady Diana's sister, Lady Sarah, who had dated the prince on and off for a while, invited Charles to a weekend with her family.
Whoa, now we're getting messy. Now we're getting messy, bro. The prince is dating both the sisters. Woo.
At the time,
somebody
Lady
called
Diana
Jerry
was
Springer,
16
bro.
And Charles was 29. Weirdness about the age difference aside, obviously.
Wait, what? I missed
obviously, Lady Diana was 16 and Charles was 29.
Charles, you freak! Weirdo! What the hell's wrong with you? Dating a 16-year-old. I don't care if you are royalty. I don't care if you are the king of Duloc himself, Lord Farquaad. What the hell's wrong with you?
About the age difference aside, obviously 16 and 29. Obviously, they have not maybe done something here. It is a red flag if they have. Either way, one of the things to talk about there is, do you think you could date somebody and not work, it doesn't work out, and then you just move on to the sister?
No, that's kind of weird.
That's strange.
What if you were dating them and you're like, man, this sister actually is...
Bro, I feel like this right here, right, this could play into the conspiracy, right? Because a lot of people have a lot of different ideas on what the info that Diana may or may not have had. You know what I'm saying? Right? We've got the whole Epstein situation going on right now. You know what I'm saying? Who knows, bro? So I feel like this could definitely play into that. You know what I'm saying? The fact that he's literally fucking a minor.
Oh, you're gonna say like, man, that sister's actually smoking hot.
That too. It's just a weird thing to do.
Well, he's a royal. He's like, yeah, whatever. I'll do whatever I want.
That's true.
He doesn't think about people's feelings. He's a royal.
That's fair. Charles invited the two Spencer sisters to his 30th birthday in 1978, and the relationship between Lady Diana and the prince grew. On February 24th, 1981, it was announced the couple was engaged. 5 months later, on July 29th, 1981, the same month Diana turned 20, they were wed. Before their wedding, Diana could recall only having met with her husband 13 times. Less than a year later, Diana gave birth to Prince William, with Prince Harry following a little more than 2
That's what. Are those the two? Right? Are those the two that are the prince? Right? One of them's what's her name? Kate. Is it Kate Upton? Kate whoever? Right? And the other one is Meghan Markle. Right? My light-skinned princess. Right? Is that?
Years after that.
Is that the two of them?
While suddenly being thrust into princessdom is a lot to handle, especially for
I don't
a
know shit about
20-year-old
British
with
royalty,
no
so I
princess
don't know.
experience. The royal family was reportedly relieved to have some youth in the mix to help revitalize their stodgy public image. Princess Diana was adored by the public, famously given the nickname the People's Princess by former UK Prime Minister Tony Blair. She used her popularity to advocate and raise awareness for causes ranging from leprosy to domestic violence, from mental health to the AIDS crisis. I'm really glad we're past that whole leprosy kind of thing.
Leprosy? Not good.
Bro,
That's a
Diana
biblical
was
thing.
real. She was really a princess, bro. She was
you
for the
imagine
people.
I mean, doesn't sound half bad, honestly. The part where your skin falls off.
Yeah, that sounds
not
pretty
good.
bad. It's like
sloughing, never fun.
No, not great. I'm glad
Living
we're
on
past
an
that.
island with a bunch of your pals who are also sick. Pretty cool.
You're just describing a Saturday night at your apartment. Her constant display of compassion meant she was able to capture the adoration of the public, in stark contrast to what was actually happening behind closed doors within the royal family. In a 1995 interview with the BBC, Princess Diana explained that, quote, "Anything good I ever did, nobody ever said a thing. Never said, well done, or was it okay? But if I tripped up, which invariably I did because I was new at the game, a ton of bricks came down on me." End
Bro,
quote.
I hate people like that, dude. Bro, I've known so many people in my lifetime that is just like that, bro. You do something good, you do something fulfilling, you do something rewarding, and they don't even acknowledge it. They're just like, okay, cool, right? But as soon as you do something fucked up, it's like, are you fucking kidding me? What the hell is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? So it's like dude, I feel for you, Diana.
According to former royal correspondent,
You are
for
not
The
a princess to me. You are a queen. Stop playing with
Stephen
me.
Bates, quote, "There was an air of desperation about the marriage. The fact they scarcely knew each other was a big problem, because the royals were so desperate to seize this potential asset that they didn't question whether she was up to the immense pressure she was going to get." End quote. Queen Elizabeth II reportedly thought Diana would find adjusting to royal life relatively easy, as she had grown up in privilege. This, however, was not the case. Diana had gone from
I keep pausing, bro, but this picture cracks me up, bro, because this is a picture of Diana alive, right? She died in 1997, right? She, like, literally a couple weeks after I was born. She died in 1997, so this had to have been taken pre-1997, right? Tell me why the Queen of England looks just as fucking old as she does right now, dude. Like, I feel like she came out the womb and she was born with wrinkles and liver spots, dude. Like, she was born an old bag. Like,
this, however,
I don't think I've
was
ever
not
seen her
the
young.
case. Diana had gone from living in an apartment with friends to living in Buckingham Palace practically overnight.
Fucking
And
castle.
the change was drastic and isolating. Between exercising and working on wedding plans, Diana spent most of her post-engagement days sitting around, bored and alone, the isolation contributing to a decline in her mental health. Soon after moving into Buckingham Palace, Diana began to struggle with bulimia. She publicly spoke about the eating disorder in an interview with the BBC in 1995, saying, quote, "You inflict it upon yourself because your self-esteem is at a low ebb, and you don't think you're worthy or valuable." End quote.
Sad shit,
I mean,
bro.
her whole situation was miserable. She seemed isolated and alone, which is already an issue. Like, I think these royals sort of live in a fish tank anyway, so...
Bro, you would think, right? Because this is royalty, right? They're literally kings and queens and princes and princesses, right? They probably got a royal boob, right? To do some jokes and do some juggling, right? They probably got a dungeon where they take the peasants, right? You know what I'm saying? Probably, I knight thee, right? They got like a black knight there to do out assassinations, right? You would think that living the life of a royal would be, it's like everybody's desire, bro. Like little girls everywhere, all they've desired is just to be a princess. You know what I'm saying? I'd love to be the king of an empire, bro. But like, and then you sit here and you watch this and you're listening, right? She was fucking miserable. Like, how are you literally royalty? How are you like the highest ranking member of your society and you still hate your fucking life, dude? My God, that's fucking, that's sad, bro.
It's like, well, you know, their entire environment is awful.
When you're in the public eye under intense scrutiny every second of the day, and you don't have anybody in your corner behind the scenes.
Yeah, she doesn't even have any allies within the house.
So you're just isolated. I could totally see how that would lead you down a dark path. It
Yeah,
also
in
shows
reality, it's
that when
not-
it comes to things like eating
This
disorders,
is not a fairy
doesn't-
tale.
It could happen to anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Doesn't matter
saying?
how high or low
It's not
you
like
are
Shrek and
on the
Fiona
totem pole of life.
and the noble steed, right?
It's sad to see.
To the public, Diana's struggles were largely invisible. Everyone wanted to believe in a perfect royal love story. So they did. On Diana's wedding day, hundreds of thousands of well-wishers lined the route from Buckingham Palace to the cathedral, hoping to catch a glimpse of the royal couple. The Archbishop of Canterbury commented
Bro.
that the wedding was,
Bro,
quote,
Diana was so fine, and all I gotta know is, what did this dude have that I don't? What did he have that I don't, bro? He's got a bald spot. He kind of ugly. He looked like his breath stank. Like, what does it take to marry a princess, dude? I
the stuff
need to
of
get
which
in on that,
fairy
dude.
tales are made, end quote. Meanwhile, Diana was suffering in private.
That guy was really reaching for a descriptor there. Wow, you really dug deep for that one. Wow, a prince and a princess got married. It's the stuff of fairy tales.
Yeah, he really
Oh, is it?
went deep in his bag for that bad boy.
Making matters worse for the princess, the one person she would have obviously looked to for help inside
He's
the palace,
royalty. I mean,
Prince
I guess that
Charles,
helps.
was proving to be less than adequate company. According to the princess, her disordered eating began to develop after Charles placed his hand on her waist and remarked, quote, "A bit chubby here, aren't we?" End quote.
What? Dude, fuck this guy.
quote.
What is it? Who is this? What's his name? Prince Charles? Fuck Charles. All my homie hate Charles.
Chuck? Chuck sucks.
Do not do that, ever.
In a post-engagement interview, Prince Charles explained that he, quote, gradually realized he would ask Diana to be his wife.
Imagine looking a baby in the eye and naming it Charles, dude.
And
I
when
could never
asked
do
if
that.
they were in love, Charles replied, quote, "Whatever in love means," end quote.
Again, I get that he's, doesn't have the greatest living situation. I'm sure things were equally difficult for him. Well, no, fuck him. What am I talking about?
Yeah.
He could go fuck himself.
Exactly. Fuck that dude. Fuck
Whatever
that
Charles
guy.
believed love to mean, he was apparently experiencing it with another woman.
Was this Prince Charles? Is this the one that just died? Is this because I seen that on Twitter, right? One of the British royalty, he looked like a walking corpse for the past 5 years, right? He died, and then half of Twitter was cooking him and woo walking on his grave, and the other half was crying about it. Is that him?
Camilla Parker Bowles. According to Diana's taped interviews with Andrew Morden, Camilla and Charles had dated in the early 70s, but the royal family discouraged the prince from marrying her due to her less than sterling reputation, lack of family title, and love of another man.
It was the Duke of Edinburgh. I still got no idea who that
their
is.
romantic relationship continued behind closed doors. When Charles and Diana were married, the prince's relationship with Camilla was put on hold, though Camilla's influence over Charles continued. Shortly before her wedding, Diana found a personalized bracelet her fiancé had purchased for Camilla.
He's a two-timing son bitch, bro. I knew there was something about him I didn't like. It wasn't just that he's ugly. It wasn't that he's just a misogynist, a piece of shit, bro. He's a two-timing, I knew
Her new
it.
husband wore cufflinks given to him by his paramour. Diana later reported that during this time, her bulimia
Prince
was
Philip, that's the one that died. Okay.
horrible, and she would make herself sick just 2 minutes after eating anything. By 1986,
That's so sad,
it's
bro.
believed that Charles had fully resumed his relationship with Camilla. A taped phone call from 1989 was later leaked to the press in which Charles told Camilla he wished he, quote, lived in her knickers, end quote. Now,
Hey, what? Oh, listen, Camilla, I fancy your buttocks. I wish I could take up residence in your knickers, man. What the fuck does
Aside
that
from
mean?
the fact that obviously he's not a great guy for cheating on his wife.
Yeah. It's just gross. Just
British pillow talk. Lived in her knickers.
vile.
Could you imagine
Enjoy nice tea and
someone
crumpets.
whispering that to you and then you not crawling out of your skin?
Oh, I wish I lived in your knickers.
And I'd be like,
Excuse me? Is he imagining like a Stuart Little situation?
I don't know. It seems like it would be a hot place to live.
This is a true crime show. We're on season 8. That's the most disgusting, off-putting thing I've ever heard.
Call me sick and perverse, but I would like to
Facts,
hear
bro.
more British sayings that they say to each other.
Bro,
when
if
they-
somebody walk up to me and whisper in my ear, I want to live in your knickers, at first, I've got a double take, make sure I ain't say something racist, dude, and then I'm just like slapping
Yeah,
them, like,
try and
get away
laugh
from
in
me.
the
heat of the
comments.
moment
Yeah.
disgust me.
This
I mean, usually
fly
it's
is
just like,
pissing me
Oh,
off.
chuffed.
Jesus, go mooch off somebody else, dude. I'll pay rent. Something.
baby, yeah.
that same year, Diana confronted Camilla. Camilla reported
Ooh, wait, nah, let me find out, Don. Let me find out Diana pull up to her ops and laid the smack
that
down.
same year, Diana
Let me
confronted
find out,
Camilla.
dude.
Camilla reportedly stood her ground, telling Diana, quote, "You've got everything you ever wanted. All the men in the world fall in love with you, and you've got 2 beautiful children. What more do you want?" End quote. Reportedly, Diana famously responded, quote, "I want my husband." End quote.
Ooh, talk
Years
your
later,
shit,
while speaking
queen.
with the BBC, an interviewer asked how she coped with everything. Diana said she cried a lot and often,
Bro,
using
she
her
whipping.
bulimia as a way to relieve some of the pressure. She also revealed she was so depressed that she at one point tried to kill herself.
Dude.
Stuck in a very public yet very unhappy marriage, Princess Diana began a relationship with Captain James Hewitt of the
Good.
Queen's household.
Good. It's not two-timing if her husband is already a piece of shit. Good. Queen, you better let him blow your back out like you ain't never got it blown out before, dude. Bro, I hope he was everything that you ever wanted,
Cavalry.
dude.
By the
Shut
late
up, James.
80s, Diana and Charles's marital problems became public knowledge, and in December 1992, the Prime Minister announced the couple's amicable separation to the House of Commons. Charles and Diana officially divorced in August 1996.
I'm happy for her. I'm happy that she took a second shot at life to actually find some happiness. Maybe her
Good for
son right
her.
now is taking a
Good
cue
for
from her
her.
by leaving. Good for her.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
A year after the divorce, Diana was on vacation in France with her partner, Dodi Al-Fayed, who, according to the
Oh,
Independent...
now we got Dodie here, bro. She just living her life, bro. She got all the hoes, bro. She pulling more hoes than me. That's
Diana
crazy.
had met in 1986 when he was playing in a polo match against her then-husband, Prince Charles.
That's a good sick burn.
I'm weak, bro. He smoked the dude and then snatched his wife. Nah, bro. Shout out Dodie. Dodie's a legend, bro. You smoked him you smoked him in polo and then fucked his wife. That's
Her
dude.
then-husband, Prince
That
Charles.
is make him the king.
Good sick burn.
Yeah, it is.
Nice way to rub that in.
Should have been better at polo.
Yeah.
What was I supposed to do? Date a loser?
It's cool. I like
Fucking
that.
loser.
Can you
Imagine losing
imagine
at
if it was like
polo.
a one-on-one situation and Mari told me, you're going to play one-on-one with this guy, and if you lose to him, I'm breaking
You're out
up
of
with
the
you.
picture.
I'm breaking up with you, and I'm going to go with Chad.
I don't think that's the arrangement that they had, but I would love it if that was the case, yeah.
Shortly after midnight on Sunday, August 31st, Al-Fayed and Diana, along with bodyguard Trevor Reese-Jones,
Here we
left
go.
the Ritz Hotel in Paris. Al-Fayed's father owned the hotel, and the head of security there, Henry Paul, was driving the group in a Mercedes-Benz, presumably to Al-Fayed's Paris estate. While approaching the entrance to a bridge, Paul lost control of the vehicle while being chased by paparazzi, reportedly driving 70 miles per hour in a 30-mile-per-hour zone. The Mercedes slammed into a pillar in the center of the highway. Diana, Al-Fayed, and Paul were not wearing seatbelts. Paul and Al-Fayed
That's why
were
you
pronounced
wear your
dead at the
seatbelts,
scene,
kids.
while Diana and Reese-Jones were taken to the hospital.
That's
Many
so
paparazzi
sad,
who had been
bro.
chasing the car chose to photograph the wreckage instead of trying to help the victims.
This is why I fucking hate paparazzi, bro. All they do is sit and stalk and harass people because they ain't got no fucking jobs. They unemployed. They don't get no bitches. So they gotta go around trying to take pictures of things so they can try to get themselves a job, bro. Dude, this is fucked up, bro. They're just taking pictures. Like, they're literally dying in a burning car, and you're, oh, I got the money shot. Oh, let me get this angle. Oh, yeah, okay. Hey, Diana, can you bleed from your head a little bit more? I feel like it'll look good on the cover, dude. Like, can you snap your leg in half or something? Like, what the fuck is this, dude?
Reese-Jones survived, but Diana's injuries proved to be more severe. The princess was suffering from a concussion, a broken arm, a cut thigh, and massive chest injuries. Doctors
dude.
operated for 2 hours, but could not get the princess's heart to beat properly. Princess Diana passed away from internal bleeding the morning of August 31st.
Rest in peace, bro.
She was 36 years old
A true
and
queen.
survived by her 2 sons, Prince William, age 15, and Prince Harry, age 12. On September 6th, 1997, 2.5 billion people, that's billion with a B, tuned in to watch the funeral procession for Princess Diana,
That's
one of the
fucking
largest
crazy.
non-sporting television audiences ever. In the wake of her death, as can happen when the world struggles to come to terms with an unspeakable tragedy, conspiracy theories began to gain steam.
Here we
Largely,
go.
thanks to their publication in the Daily Express, rumors suggesting someone intentionally killed the princess swirled. In response, the Metropolitan Police launched Operation Paget to determine if any might have truth to them. Eventually, Operation Paget examined 175 theories. While we can't look into all
They ain't examined mine
175
yet.
theories,
That's crazy.
it's time to check out some of the most prevalent theories surrounding
All
the
right,
death
here we go.
of Diana,
Here we
Princess
go.
of Wales. Our first theory is that the driver, Henry Paul, was paid by security forces in either France or the UK to intentionally crash the car. This comes from reports that Paul seemingly had much more money than his salary could explain, Despite making only $35,000 a year, Paul had nearly $250,000 in his bank account and a significant amount of cash on him at the time of his death. The physical evidence, however, points not to malice, but recklessness. The day after the crash, French authorities announced Paul's blood alcohol level was 3 times the legal limit, implying it was drunk driving, not an intended assassination that caused the crash. Conspiracy theorists tried to argue that Paul's body was swapped out with a drunk person to give the crash some cover. Skeptics also point to reports that no one saw Paul acting drunk, despite the large amount of alcohol in his system.
Okay, but here's the thing with this, right? The thing about, oh, they switched his body with the drunk person, that sounds dumb as hell to me, because they literally said that when they crashed, the paparazzi swarmed and started taking pictures. So somebody would have had a picture of somebody else swapping dude out. You know what I mean? Like that would have been a record of that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. He could have just been one of those dudes who like he gets like shit-faced drunk, and then he's like just really good at playing it off. You know what I mean?
Sounds like he was drunk.
Sure sounds like he was drunk. I gotta say, it seems like a very an Olympic stretch, if you ask me, to think, yeah, let's intentionally crash this car while making myself drunk. I'll fly through the window, but I'm gonna survive.
I'll be fine.
I'll be okay.
Hey, we'll pay you a lot of money to die. Sounds good. It's heaven bucks?
Yeah, that just doesn't...
Could I redeem these in the afterlife?
People can be...
I went into this with the full belief of the conspiracy theory, bro, of that she was killed by the royal family for whatever reason, bro. But now that I sit here and I look at all of the evidence and I look at everything leading up, right? This very well could have been a very horrible and tragic accident, bro. Like, they were running away from the paparazzi, and dude was trashed, bro. He was trash drunk, and they're speeding away from the paparazzi. Maybe he lost control and hit the fucking pole, and they died, dude. Like, I'm starting to fully believe that this could have just been a terrible, tragic accident.
Too drunk, like, they say, like, don't drive when you're buzzed, when you're even buzzed. The thought of getting behind a wheel, having had like a drop.
Now the money. What if he's just like a big time drug dealer, bro? And he's just flipping. He's just flipping kilos out the Ritz, bro. Like
alcohol has always terrified me.
Maybe he got like OnlyFans or something. I don't know.
To be even buzzed and getting behind the wheel, very bad. Don't do that. Don't do it. But I'm saying that, like, someone who doesn't appear outwardly like, whoa, I'm blasted.
Yeah.
They're still impaired. And they can
Exactly.
still drive terribly.
That's what I said.
You know who's a poor judge of whether or not someone's drunk? People who are drunk at a party.
Yeah, also true. Oh, good point.
Kind of like the Haley Joel Osment thing. It's the crazy thing about dead people is they don't know they're dead.
Oh.
Kind of thing.
Sure.
Our second conspiracy theory is that Diana was killed by the British state because she was supposedly pregnant with Al Fayed's child. This theory is spearheaded by Al Fayed's father, Mohammed Al Fayed, who in 2008 told the British Royal Courts of Justice why he was convinced of this narrative. Mohammed argues that the royal family would never accept the idea of Dodi, an Egyptian Muslim, possibly being the stepfather of the eventual King of England.
Now this I can believe, bro, because with all the shit I've seen surrounding like Meghan Markle, right? Meghan Markle, right? They were terrible to her. I fully believe this, bro. Like if you sit here and look me in the eye and say, "Hey, Chris, the British royal family is a bunch of racists," I would fully believe you, dude, because like the shit I'm seeing with Meghan, this would make so much sense.
And thus
I'm telling
plotted to kill Diana, and therefore the alleged half-sibling to the princes gestating inside her.
Now, for this to be true, the royal family would have to be racist.
Yes.
They would have to have blood on their hands.
Yes.
Interesting.
Check.
I don't
Check.
know. Seems like a pretty tall order to believe that one. And this is, look, hey, America, are we without sin? No.
No.
Fuck no.
Anyone who's that high up in a national level, you know, either directly or indirectly, they're murderers.
Okay, I don't know if you could say that. But yes, you kind of.
Imperialism? They've got bones all over the globe.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Do I think they put out a hit on her? It seems like I don't think so.
In the weeks before her death, some newspapers actually began to speculate that Diana was pregnant, especially after the princess made comments about a, quote, big surprise. Casting doubt on this theory, however, is the fact that Diana was not pregnant. Her post-mortem examination and further blood tests all concluded Diana was not pregnant, and people close to the princess note that her menstrual cycle was normal at the time, she was using contraception, and she had never mentioned a pregnancy to anyone.
I will say that
She was
I
using
have a lot of very
condoms. I keep
close
telling
Egyptian
y'all,
friends,
don't be silly,
and,
wrap that
they
willy.
have also said that when they found out that I was going to do this episode, they said that the Egyptian community at large does very much believe that the royal family did not like Diana dating an Egyptian man.
I mean, it would make
Which is not
sense.
hard
It
to
would
believe.
make
Not
a
hard to
lot of
believe at all.
sense, dude.
Fully justifiable opinion
I agree with that.
based on facts and, not saying,
Dude,
hey,
I
they for
swear
sure.
to God, this fucking fly is gonna cause me to set my entire house on fire, dude. Dude, somebody call, what's his name? Fucking Mr. Miyagi with the chopsticks, dude. Oh my gosh, bro. He's
Killed
crawling
him,
on my screen, he's on my light, dude.
The motivations are certainly there.
Yeah, because if she marries him, now they have to bring him into the house, the big house, and that's, I guess, a no-go. So
Well, someone from
Fuck
the
off.
royal family recently married a person of color. How did that go?
we could look into that.
Okay.
I could have my team look into that.
I'd love the details on that.
Another theory surrounding the princess's death is that her medical care was intentionally sabotaged.
Open your
This
fucking
theory-
window. That's the issue. That's how the motherfucker got in the first place. My window's wide fucking open. It's the middle of summer, 90,000 degrees. I'm sweating out of my asshole, bro. That's how he gets in here. Nice. Now there's another book, dude. I'm
Theory took root after reports emerged
Oh
that
my
Diana
gosh.
was treated at the scene by
I'm running a fucking
emergency
petting
crews
zoo in here,
before
apparently.
being transported to a hospital. Had she been
Run it back.
theory took root that her
I'd
look into that.
love the details on that.
Another theory surrounding the princess's death is that her medical care was intentionally sabotaged. This theory took root after reports emerged that Diana was treated at the scene by emergency crews before being transported to a hospital. Had she been taken to a hospital before treatment began, skeptics argue, perhaps she could have been saved. This theory
I don't know, bro, because paramedics always treat you. They're always gonna treat you. They're always gonna try to, help close some wounds, wrap some bandages, give you some painkillers, whatever. You know what I mean? I feel like paramedics, their job is to literally save your life, bro. Like, imagine you get into a terrible, tragic car accident, and you have half a leg, right, and you're bleeding and shit, and the paramedics just walk up and they just pick you up and carry you into the car. And they're not trying to help you at all, bro. I'd be upset.
appears rooted in differences between UK and French emergency protocols. While the UK prioritizes getting injured victims to a hospital as quickly as possible, French emergency crews are trained to give treatment on the scene before
See? I don't
transporting
see
a
a
person
problem
to
with
the
that.
hospital. This theory would also require a large amount of expert doctors and caregivers to break their ethical vows, as well as lie about doing so. Most doctors also agree that no matter the treatment, it would have been practically impossible for Diana to survive her injuries. In 2019, Britain's
that's sad.
top forensic pathologist, Dr. Richard Shepherd, revealed that the final cause of Diana's death was a badly placed tear in a vein in her lung. According to Dr. Shepherd, quote, her specific injury is so rare that in my entire career, I don't believe I've seen another.
But she had chest
end quote.
injuries, right?
I guess conspiracy theorists are pointing to the
But
idea.
here's my problem. Here's my issue with other people being in on it, right? The driver, the paramedics, the doctors, right? The only people who didn't like Princess Diana was the royal family. Literally every single human being in the entire world loved Princess Diana, dude. It was literally, she's literally like a British Michael Jackson, bro. Everybody and anybody loved Princess Diana. So I don't think people would go out of their way to try to harm her and be in on this big conspiracy. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I just don't see the general public and all these other players being a part of this game. You know what I'm saying? If you want to go down the route of, oh, it was sabotage, she was killed or whatever, you know what I mean? I feel like you have to place all the blame on the only people who didn't fuck with her. You know what I mean?
That if she had been taken to the hospital, she could have survived, but they, I guess, intentionally treated her on the scene to prevent that from happening, which is wild.
It's worth taking the word of conspiracy theorists over doctors, I think. Yeah.
Especially when this...
Many people in America also believe that.
That is true.
He's
Have
not
you been
wrong,
on Twitter?
dude.
Dr. Shepard, by the way, did say that it was incredibly rare, and that also, as unfortunate as it was, it could have been prevented had she just been wearing a seatbelt.
I mean, a good takeaway.
By the way, she wasn't wearing a seatbelt.
Wear
because
your
she was
seatbelt,
trying to
kids.
duck the paparazzi at the time.
Our final conspiracy theory is the only one that has a ring of truth to it.
Okay.
That Diana
What you got for me?
predicted her own untimely death. 10 months before her death, Diana gave a letter to a former butler for safekeeping. In the letter, she wrote, quote, "This particular phase in my life is the most dangerous. Redacted is planning an accident in my car. Brake failure and serious head injury in order to make the path clear for Charles to marry."
Oh my God! Oh my, bro, that's the crazy thing, right? Because when we first got into the whole car accident thing, right, and he was talking about they was speeding, right, before they had said anything about him being drunk, my first immediate thought was, okay, yeah, somebody probably fucked with his brakes, so he couldn't stop, and they slammed into a wall. That was my first thought. Then they started talking about him being drunk and all this other shit, so my theory was changing. But the fact that she literally said, hey, by the way, the redacted, right, he's planning on killing me with brake failure. And then she dies in the exact same way she just said. Dude, nah, this is crazy. Nah, now it's starting to heat up, dude.
On April 9th, 2005, 7 years after Diana's death, Prince Charles married Parker Bowles, who is now Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Cornwall.
That's weird. I mean, there's no way around that one. That one is weird.
I mean,
I don't know what's going on
it
there.
could very well be a coincidence. I think it's very, she's in a situation where she is not on great terms with this family, probably a little paranoid about her own well-being. So I feel like it all stacks up. And by that I mean,
See?
she
Now we
clearly
can get back
predicted
into the
that,
conspiracy, bro, with that
it's not gonna
shit.
go well for me. But I don't know that it was orchestrated.
I'm just pointing out the obvious and undeniable fact that it's weird for someone to put in writing the exact method of how they would die.
Did her brakes
That's
go out?
pretty fucking crazy.
No, they didn't go brake failure. You're right. That's true. It wasn't brake failure. It was an accident though, in a car.
Debunked.
And we don't know who the redacted person is.
I don't know. She
But-
shouldn't have redacted it.
I don't think she redacted it. I don't think that's how it
okay.
works.
I see.
Diana's worries about being murdered were exacerbated by the fact that she believed her former bodyguard and lover, Barry Manicky, was similarly assassinated in a car crash. In 2004, NBC aired a video featuring Diana talking about her affair with Manicky, describing him as, quote, "the greatest love I've ever had. It was all found out, and he was chucked out. Then he was killed. I think he was bumped off."
Bro, what if they weren't trying to kill Diana? What if they were trying to kill her man, right? Because with this, it seems like they hate her dating anybody else other than that fucking Prince Charles guy. So like, what if they were just trying to eliminate all of the competition, so all that she has left is Charles, and she's forced to marry that fucking weirdo? You know what I mean?
End quote.
I feel like there's layers to this.
So obviously, like you were saying, she was very suspicious, rightfully so. I guess you could leave it at that.
Yeah. I mean, she's probably terrified for her own life.
Yeah. I still tend to believe dude was hammered. He was driving a car. Don't do that.
Can't be doing it.
I can see why This would get the gears turning and all the conspiracy theorists out
Sure,
there.
sure.
Firing up their engines, they say.
Yeah. If something tragic happens to me, you know, even if it is very suspicious, don't even bother talking about it. Just move past it. Talk about how much I loved my funny little cat and Sarah. And Sarah, sorry I put Obi first today.
But then conspiracy theorists will say that you were being coerced to say, don't look into my suspicious death. And then they will in turn look into your suspicious death.
Conspiracy theorists are a bunch of fucking losers.
Nice.
After examining 175 different theories surrounding Princess Diana's death, Operation Paget concluded none had any basis in reality, determining the crash was, after all, a tragic accident. Diana was beloved the world over, both as an advocate for the sick and oppressed and as a role model for women everywhere. In her 1995 interview with the BBC, Diana tried to explain the antagonism she'd face while part of the royal family. Quote, "I think every strong woman in history has to walk down a similar path, and I think it's the strength that causes the confusion and the fear. Why is she strong? Where does she get it from? Where is she taking it? Where is she going to use it?" End quote. Unfortunately, in the case of Diana, Princess of Wales, the answer to those questions will remain unsolved.
All right. So this one is a light-skinned Sherlock Holmes first, bro, because this case is very unique. It's not really unsolved in the sense that we don't know what happened to that person. We already know she died in a car crash. That is a fact. That is a real life. That is reality, right? This was more centered around the cause of said death, right? For the first time in history, light-skinned Sherlock Holmes got two theories. He's got two running theories, and they were both mentioned in this one, bro. The first one, right? You can go down. I think both of them are plausible. You can go down either route. The first one is, dude was drunk. The driver was drunk. The paparazzi was on their ass. They trying to do the dip and dash. The dip and dash, going 100 on the dash. You know what I'm saying? They swerving in and out of traffic. They just trying to get home, have a lovely, comfortable night in, and chill by the fireplace, sipping some tea and some crumpets, living in some knickers, right? And so he was dipping and dodging the traffic, and then he was drunk. He loses control. He smashes into the wall. Everybody dies, except for the one guy, right? Right? Okay, I feel like that is a pretty plausible and logical thing. If you want to go down the tinfoil road and go down the conspiracy road, right? I feel like that's just as plausible, right? The British family, they got beef with either Diana and they wanted to kill her, or, like what I said, they wanted to kill the dude she was fucking to try to get her to marry Charles. So they sabotaged the car with the brake failure, like she predicted, and she got fucking killed, bro. So you can either put the blame on the driver and the paparazzi, or you can put all of the blame on the royal family. And the crazy thing is that to me, I feel like both of these explanations are very logical and very reasonable given the facts of the case. I don't think there were any other players in this. Like I said, I feel like she was too loved for people to want to turn on her, you know what I'm saying? So I think it was either an actual accident or the evil society of the royal family did something. That's what I think. Boom. There you go. There wasn't any brake failure. Then it was probably just a fucking accident at this point, you know what I'm saying? Like, the only thing I've ever seen on the internet is all the conspiracy shit, bro, so I believed it. But I look at this and I feel like the accident is a lot more logical, but the sabotage and the whole she was killed by her family and stuff, feel like that could make sense if the right person explains it to me. But I'm leaning more towards an accident. Boom. There we go. Boom. Solved. She predicted her death. Yeah, that's the thing That's the thing that's tripping me up, bro. Is that she predicted her death. I don't know if that's real or not, if that's true. Did that butler actually get a fucking letter? Or was he capping? Who the fuck is redacted? Why were they redacted? How did she know exactly how she's gonna die? You know what I'm saying? So that little thing, that's what's tripping me up the most, is the letter. The letter is what's making me believe the conspiracy, but then all of the facts is what makes me believe in the accident. So I don't know, man. I feel like just depending on the type of person you are, that's the explanation for what happened.